Hi friends, it's Holly with Happy Quilty People. It is December and I have just been thinking about a fun, quick Christmas project that I'd like to do with my Christmas fabric stash. And so I've pulled out all the fabrics to see what options I have, what I might could use. So for my fun, quick Christmas project, what I'm thinking is I would like to do some pot holders with a Scrappy pattern. It's going to be both practice for the quilt that I would eventually like to make next year for next year's Christmas quilt, and a fun, easy gift to give away. This might be great for like coworkers, for your book club girls, something like that. So I wanted to show you what I've got. You can see that I've very clearly got lots of pinks going on. There's some blues, a lot of minty sorts of green. And then I've got some found fabric. So I want to go through all that, tell you kind of how I've collected this fabric stash over the year, and kind of the method to my madness. So a lot of these are fat quarters. These two are Riley Blake. I feel like some of these may be, but I don't know. A lot of times fat quarters don't have their selvage edge on, and so you don't know after you get it. If it's important to you to know what brand they are or who the maker was, you might want to pin a note under your fat quarter about that. I've collected, and you can see that because I was really positive about my color scheme, I ended up with lots of these fabrics that are going to go together very, very well. In fact, if you really look at this one, it's kind of got all of the colors, a little bit of blue, greens, reds, and pinks. I have noticed that I've got two pinks that I don't think are really going to be the same as these lovely, I don't know, a rosier pink. Maybe there's a little more of an earthiness, maybe a little bit toward like a ballet pink. I've got two that are a little bit different. I've got one that's this hot pink tree, and it seems to stand out as a little brighter than everything else. And then just something about the color of this pink, I don't know, maybe it's that it's thin, something about that isn't reading as the same as everything else. So when I start to put my colors together, those are two I will be mindful of, seeing if they really do match whatever I've got going on in any particular Scrappy project. So it is December, and Hobby Lobby has their Christmas fabrics on sale. So just yesterday, what is it, December the 5th, I got these at Hobby Lobby half price. This one is a nice flannel that's got some red and pink and green in it. So that is a great option for a project. I love a flannel, particularly just thinking about making those quilts softer. This one is going to be a good kind of blender. Look at how it kind of goes with everything else. So I was excited about those from Hobby Lobby. I definitely have some things in my stash that I bought on sale. So fat quarters that are seasonal are going to be on sale as soon as that season is done. So like you might look for Christmas remnants and fat quarters to be on sale in the early months of the year, January, February, March, something like that. This is something interesting that I got at a quilter's estate sale, and it is a photo panel of a big poinsettia and a matching fabric that the quilter had already picked out to go with it. And who is that one by? It's a Moda fabric. I don't know its age. It's a Hoffman fabric from 2021 is the poinsettia panel. So that was something really inexpensive. What I might do is put that on the back of a small quilt. Other things that I've thrifted. Also from charity garage sales, I found some great fabrics. This one is a really fine corduroy. I love that for texture in a quilt. Here's a flannel that's red and white. A nice little nod to some peppermint stripes there, and very, very soft. Another texture item that I've gotten, well, two, over here on the left. This one is a really wide corduroy. And both of these corduroys are really suiting me well because they don't have a lot of stretch to them. You can get corduroys that are very elasticized that would be really hard to work with. And then this one is actually a sweater, and it's really puffy chenille. So if I do a hot pad project, I'm thinking this would be great for the backing on a hot pad if I were to cut up this sweater. On a quilt that's gonna be laundered and washed a lot, I'm concerned about how this would stand up, so I'm not sure I'll actually use that. Another thing that I've thrifted are some shirts. This one is linen. Look at the great texture going there. And then this is a men's shirt that has a stripe that's red and pink. Has a little bit of a gray tone to that lighter stripe. So that's just an interesting piece, a different kind of a color. And thrifting shirts, particularly men's broadcloth shirts, is a great way to find inexpensive fabric for your quilts. I do have a white that's got holly on it, and since my name is Holly, we do all the things with holly on them. This was a remnant piece that I found, I don't know, in the fall, that I thought, ooh, there's a good Christmassy fabric. And then over here laid out, this is 31 pieces from a giant Moda fat quarter bundle. It's a pattern that's called Tiny Christmas. So there's 31 different fabrics in there. Some of them are repeated. For example, here's the red candy cane, and there it is in pink. There it is with a dark green background. It's even got some almost more peachy, salmony pink kind of colors in it, which I love. I have a brown over here because my Scrappy pattern is for Christmas trees. And this is a cone of fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby. If you don't know, Hobby Lobby, every once in a while, I don't know what their schedule is. They put their fabrics on 40% off. And so that's a great time to stock up on things you know that you want for eventually. So those are all of my fabrics. I'm so pleased that once I got them all out, they're pretty much cohesive. Like I said, there's only the two that I'm not really sure of. And I'm not loving this one and this one, but we'll see. They would still make a good item to throw into a nice scrappy patchy quilt. Another interesting piece that I found at an estate sale or a garage sale is this pre-printed table runner. And when I buy things that are marked with how much yardage they have, I'll keep the tag on. This one doesn't really say. I feel like I've got just over a yard. It might be 1.5 yards of this fabric. So as you can see, it's not going to work well for my long table, but it will work. It could be maybe like 3 different placemats. So this is the panel piece that they recommend for the table runner. This piece is meant to be the backing, but they mentioned that if you wanted to make a coordinating placemat, you could. And then there's some edging strips. And then I pulled a couple of fabrics that I have just so you could see how, if you found a panel like this, you could add some solids. I didn't have a solid green. I had some blenders, but I had a solid red. You could put those with that. And I wanted to show you kind of how the printed directions look over here. It talks about that you could make this a flat fabric, that you could quilt it, you could point the end. It also illustrates what you could do if you wanted to make a placemat or even napkin rings. Even if you wanted to go really interesting with some craft projects, something to put onto a basket, a bowl or something, or to applique onto a towel. So I thought that was just kind of a fun piece. This is a Cranston print. It doesn't give the year, so I don't know exactly when and where this would have come from. Talking about adding those colored pieces to the fabric, something if you wanted to expand this, like this would be a little short for a table runner, but if I could add on a border, that would give me a little more length. So something I did think of is that I could pull easily to go in with a Scrappy quilt if I had a dot or some spots. These aren't really exactly perfect. This is a heart, so that might be more Valentine-y, but certainly you can see that if you had a polka dot in any of the colors, red, green, pink, that it would go great in there. So that's how I chose all of my fabrics for my fabric stash. I'm happy to have thrifted some, to bought a bunch on sale, to have found all of these colorways that once I knew kind of my favorite color, that was the way that I went. I did want to tell you a little bit about this Riley Blake. I decided that this would be my edging for a quilt. This would be my binding. And the reason that I picked this is because it's got lots of little small print things happening, and this will give you some good distraction if you make a mistake on your binding. It's not so glaring. You've got some differences in the print to hide that.